It's here. The second week of August isn't just another date, it's a threshold. A silent divide between the life you've lived and the one waiting beyond. While the world spins in its usual blur of noise and distraction, something higher is at work. The sky itself is aligning, setting in motion changes that will alter your path forever. Most won't notice until long after it's passed. But you, if you've been sensing the undercurrent in the air, already know something has been gathering. On August 12th, Venus, Jupiter and Sirius will align in a rare and powerful conjunction. This isn't just another astrological event, it's a cosmic ignition. Venus, the planet of love and values, meets Jupiter, the planet of expansion and destiny, under the light of Sirius, the spiritual sun, the star that has been guiding seekers for millennia. Together they form a triple pulse of energy that amplifies your truth, magnifies your desires, and burns away the illusions you've been carrying. And if that wasn't enough, Mercury, the planet of thought, communication, and connection, will go direct in Leo tomorrow. The fog lifts, the delays dissolve, the hesitations you've been feeling give way to clarity and boldness. Your voice returns stronger than before, ready to speak the truths you've been holding back. This is not gentle energy, it is decisive. It cuts, it chooses. If you've been sensing restlessness, if conversations have been circling without resolution, if you've been looking at your life and feeling the walls of the old identity closing in, this is why. The universe is setting the stage for you to walk out of the life you've been surviving in, and into the one you were meant to live. But here's the truth, no one wants to tell you. This much alignment doesn't just bless you, it demands you shed what you've outgrown. Over the coming days the current will get stronger. People, habits, even parts of your personality that once felt essential may suddenly feel foreign. This is not a loss, it's a recalibration. The second week of August will not wait for you to be ready. It's already here, and by the time it's over, the old life you've been holding on to will be gone. And before I tell you exactly how to move through this week's energy, I need you to anchor your intention right now. Like this video, subscribe, and comment. 777 inches below. It's more than interaction. It's you, placing your energetic signature into the current that's flowing through the second week of August, claiming your space in the transformation that's already begun. From the moment Mercury turns direct in Leo, you will start to notice a subtle but undeniable shift. The conversations that felt stuck suddenly move. The answers you were waiting for start to arrive, maybe in unexpected ways. People who once avoided a subject may suddenly bring it up themselves. Delayed plans begin to find a way forward. But here's the thing, it's not just progress, it's alignment. This is the universe making sure you're moving toward what's truly yours, not toward what you've been settling for. This is why, in the days around August 12th, you may feel a strange mix of excitement and discomfort. The excitement comes from the sense that a new chapter is opening. The discomfort comes from realizing what you'll have to leave behind to step into it. You can't bring everything with you. You can't keep the old life and the new life at the same time. The Venus-Jupiter-Sirius conjunction is like a magnifying glass held over your soul. It will make your deepest truths impossible to ignore. Relationships that feel heavy will suddenly weigh more. Habits that drain you will feel unbearable. And on the other hand, the things and people that truly feed your spirit will shine brighter, calling you forward. Some of you will feel this in your body, a sudden burst of energy to clean, to move, to change your surroundings. Others will feel it in their emotions, a wave of clarity, a quiet, knowing that it's time. You may wake up from dreams that feel like messages, or notice repeating numbers that follow you everywhere. You might run into someone from your past who reminds you of who you used to be, only for you to realize that version of you is gone. Do not mistake this for coincidence. In weeks like this, life becomes a mirror, showing you exactly where you stand and what's ready to fall away. Every conversation, Every random encounter, every little sign is part of the map. The only question is, will you notice, and will you act? Mercury direct in Leo will also test your voice. You may find yourself speaking truths you never planned to say out loud. You might stand up for yourself in a way that surprises you, or finally tell someone what you've been holding in for years. This is not reckless speech, it's release. It's the removal of the last threads tying you to a version of yourself that no longer fits. And with Sirius involved, the guidance you receive won't just be logical, it will be spiritual. That gut feeling that tells you to turn left instead of right, to say no instead of yes, to take the leap instead of waiting. That's Sirius light guiding you. Trust it, even if it doesn't make sense yet. You may also feel a deep pull towards solitude during this week. This isn't isolation, it's integration. When so much energy is pouring into your field, you need space for it to settle. Being constantly around other people's emotions and thoughts can blur the messages you're meant to receive. Give yourself permission to step back, even if it's just for a few hours each day, to sit in your own energy. But here's the challenge. This much light will also draw shadows to the surface. People around you may act strangely. Someone might lash out, reveal hidden resentment, or try to pull you into old patterns. This is not a sign that you're going backward. It's proof that you're outgrowing the frequency they're still in. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to prove anything. Simply hold your ground and let the old story fall away. By the middle of the week, you'll start to feel lighter, not because everything is perfect, but because you've made peace with what's leaving. This is the turning point. The energy stops feeling like a storm you're surviving and starts feeling like a current you can ride. That's when the blessings of Venus and Jupiter begin to flow more obviously. A conversation that opens a door, an offer that feels right in your bones, an idea that sparks joy. But remember, Jupiter expands whatever it touches. If you hold on to fear, it will amplify fear. If you hold on to truth, it will amplify truth. This is why your choices, your focus, and your boundaries matter more than ever. The universe is listening, and it's not just listening to what you say, it's listening to what you show with your actions. As the week moves toward its close, you'll notice that something in you has shifted permanently. It might be small on the outside, a different way of speaking, a new habit, a single decision, but on the inside, it's massive. That's the end of the old life. It doesn't go with a loud crash. It dissolves quietly until one day you realize it's simply not there anymore. So pay attention this week. Notice who and what feels heavy and who and what feels light. Follow the lightness. Let the heaviness drop away. This is the cosmic invitation you've been waiting for, and it won't wait for you to feel ready. The door is open now, and the new life is already calling your name. As we step deeper into the second week of August, the energy begins to take on a different texture. The first half of the week is about the breaking, the dismantling of what you've outgrown, the clarity of what no longer belongs. But the second half, that's where the rebuilding starts. It's subtle at first, like the quiet after a storm, when the air is clearer and the ground feels different under your feet. Around August 14th and 15th you may begin to feel a strange calm settling in, not because every answer has appeared, but because you've stopped fighting the shift. There's a moment where resistance drains out of you, replaced by a quiet acceptance. You understand deep down that the old life is truly over, and instead of mourning it, you begin to sense the possibilities of what comes next. This is when the gifts of the Venus-Jupiter-Sirius conjunction begin to reveal themselves in ways you can see and touch. A message may arrive out of nowhere with an opportunity you didn't even know existed. A conversation may spark an idea that lights you up. You might meet someone who feels strangely familiar, like you've known them before. These are not random. These are the first steps of your new path taking form in the physical world. You'll also notice that people's reactions to you may shift. Some will be drawn closer, sensing the change in your energy, wanting to be part of what you're building. Others will distance themselves, perhaps without even knowing why. Don't chase and don't cling. Let those who are meant to stay, stay. Let those who are meant to leave, leave. This week is about flow, not force. The days following August 12th are also perfect for planting seeds, literally and metaphorically. If there's something you want to grow in your life over the next 6 months, take a small intentional step toward it now. Write it down, speak it aloud. Take the first action, no matter how small. Under this conjunction's light, those seeds carry more power than you realize. Mercury direct in Leo will continue to push your voice forward in the second half of the week. If there's something you've been meaning to declare, a decision, a boundary, a dream, this is the time. You'll notice that the fear of how others might react doesn't have the same grip it once did. That's the gift of Leo. It asks you to live from the center of your own heart, not from the opinions around you. But with great clarity comes the temptation to act too fast. This is where Jupiter's influence can be tricky. The expansion energy can make you want to say yes to everything, to leap before you've fully thought it through. So yes, trust your intuition, but also give your choices space to breathe. The right path will still be there in a day or two. The wrong one will often fall apart if you give it time to reveal itself. By August 16th and 17th, you may look back and feel as though you've lived an entire month in the span of a week. Conversations, realizations, changes in your habits or routines, it all adds up to a deep internal shift that you can't undo. The old life is not only behind you, it doesn't even feel like it fits anymore. This is the essence of transformation. It's not always loud, and it's not always visible to the outside world right away. But inside, the architecture of your reality has been rearranged, and soon enough, the outer world will have no choice but to match what's happened within. So as the week closes, take a moment to acknowledge yourself, not just for surviving it, but for allowing it. You didn't resist the tide, you let it carry you. And because of that, you've stepped into a timeline where your choices are cleaner, your voice is stronger, and your alignment is sharper than it's ever been. The second week of August has done its work. The door to the old life is closed. Ahead of you is space, pure, open, and waiting for you to decide what fills it. That's the real power of this moment. The universe has cleared the path. Now it's your turn to walk it. And before we close, anchor your intention one more time. If you're ready to leave the old life behind and step fully into what's calling you, like this video, subscribe, and comment 888 inches below. It's not just an action, it's a declaration to yourself and to the current that's still flowing through this week. You are here, you are ready, and there is no going back. This week's energy is unlike anything you've felt in months, maybe even years. It's the kind of shift that builds quietly and then suddenly rushes in, leaving you wondering how you didn't see it coming. And starting tomorrow, you're going to feel it in a way that you can't mistake for anything else. At first it might come as a subtle awareness. You'll wake up and the light will feel different. The air might feel charged, as though it's carrying 1,000 unspoken possibilities. Even the smallest things, the sound of traffic in the distance, the way sunlight spills across the floor, will seem to hum with a hidden meaning. That's your nervous system tuning into the current before your mind catches up. From tomorrow onward, each day will feel like it's pulling you somewhere, sometimes gently, sometimes with a force that catches your breath. You might feel drawn towards certain places for no clear reason, or find yourself reaching out to someone you haven't spoken to in years. The synchronicities will start stacking, numbers repeating, overheard phrases that echo something you were just thinking, moments that feel almost scripted. This is the universe arranging the pieces, making sure you're in the right place at the right time for the right encounters. The Venus-Jupiter-Sirius alignment has set these ripples in motion, and Mercury direct in Leo will give you the clarity to recognize them when they arrive. This isn't just astrology on paper, It's a living frequency, and you are in it. The high energy of this week can make you feel more alive than you have in a long time, but it can also stir up everything you haven't dealt with. Old fears might rise to the surface, not to trap you, but to be released for good. You may have sudden waves of emotion, laughing one moment, tearing up the next, without a clear trigger. Don't try to suppress it. Let it move through you. This is how your old life leaves your body. You'll also notice your perception shifting. Things that used to irritate you might roll off your back completely. People you once felt obligated to please may suddenly feel distant, as if the invisible thread between you has snapped. On the other hand, you might feel a powerful connection to new ideas, new goals, or even strangers whose presence feels strangely familiar. These connections are not random. They are part of the blueprint unfolding in real time. By midweek, the sensation of something is happening will intensify. Your sleep might be lighter, your dreams more vivid, your thoughts sharper. You might find yourself waking up earlier than usual, without an alarm, feeling an urgency you can't explain. That's the current pulling you. It's the signal that the moment to step forward is here, not later, not someday, now. The more you lean into this energy, the faster it will work for you. This doesn't mean rushing or forcing outcomes. It means saying yes to what feels expansive, even if you don't see the full picture yet. It means walking away from what suddenly feels heavy, even if you can't fully explain why. It means trusting that the path ahead is already lit. You just have to take the first step into it. And here's the truth. By the time the week ends, you will look back and realize you're not in the same place you were when it began. You might not be able to point to one single event and say, that was it, but you will feel different, lighter, clearer, more certain, and the life you're stepping into will feel more real than the one you left behind. As the days pass, the energy won't fade, it will deepen. It will move from something you notice outside of yourself into something you feel in your bones, in your body. It might start as a low hum of restlessness, like you're waiting for something to happen. You might find yourself moving more, cleaning, rearranging, taking walks, unable to just sit in the same old space without changing it. Your body knows before your mind does that a new frequency is moving in, and it wants to prepare the environment for it. Some of you will feel it as bursts of energy, moments where you suddenly have the motivation to do something you've been putting off for weeks. Others will feel it as a need to slow down, to breathe, to take long pauses. This isn't laziness, it's integration. You're downloading more light, more awareness, and your system needs moments to process it. In your emotions there may be waves, highs that make you feel unstoppable, followed by lows that make you question everything. These shifts aren't random, they're the old patterns and attachments rising to the surface to be acknowledged one last time before they dissolve. Every tear, every sigh, every release is a thread snapping, freeing you from the fabric of your old life. Mentally, your thoughts will begin to sharpen. You'll start noticing connections between events, seeing patterns in conversations, understanding why certain delays or detours had to happen. It's like a curtain is being pulled back, revealing the design behind the chaos. That's Mercury direct in Leo, clarity wrapped in courage, the ability to see and speak your truth without hesitation. By the time you move into the last days of the week, the energy will shift again. The intensity won't disappear, but it will settle into a steady, grounded flow. It's as if the storm has passed, and you're standing in the quiet after, breathing in the fresh air, realizing the landscape around you has changed. Some of you will feel called to mark this moment, not with a grand ritual, but with a simple act that says, "This is who I am now." It might be rearranging your space, changing something about your appearance, starting a project you've been afraid to begin. Whatever it is, it will be the first physical step in your new chapter. And here's the thing, the changes from this week won't just stay in this week. They will echo into the months ahead, shaping the way opportunities arrive, the way relationships unfold, the way you show up in the world. You may not see the full picture yet, but the foundation is already set. When you look back, you'll remember this week, not for one dramatic moment, but for the way everything quietly, decisively shifted. The old life didn't end with a crash, it ended with a turning of the tide. And from here on, that tide carries you forward. As the second week of August draws to a close, there's a sense in the air that something irreversible has taken place. You can't quite put it into a single sentence, but you can feel it in the way you're carrying yourself. The hesitations that once kept you frozen have loosened their grip. The weight of certain obligations feels lighter, as if the cord tying you to them has quietly unraveled. The sky will feel different too. Maybe you'll notice how the sunset lingers a little longer, or how the stars seem sharper, almost closer. It's not the world that's changed, it's you. Your perception has widened. You're noticing more because you're present in a way you weren't before. This is what happens when the old identity drops. Your senses recalibrate to the frequency of your new self. And then, as you step into the first days of the following week, the energy shifts from deep internal work to a forward-moving current. This isn't the heavy, dragging momentum you felt in the past. It's cleaner, swifter, more direct. The universe is no longer pushing you to release. It's pulling you toward where you're meant to be. You might find that the right people start showing up without you having to search for them. Conversations flow effortlessly into opportunities. An idea you set aside months ago might suddenly make sense again, but this time with a clearer path to bring it to life. This is the afterglow of the Venus-Jupiter-Sirius alignment. It leaves a trail of synchronicities in its wake, each one a stepping stone toward what's next. But don't expect it all to be effortless. The transition from an old life into a new one always comes with moments where you're tested. You may be tempted to fall back into a familiar pattern, to say yes when you know you mean no, to take the safer option instead of the one that excites you. These are the checkpoints the universe is asking. Are you really done with the old life, or are you just visiting the new one? If you meet these moments with the awareness you've been cultivating all week, they won't pull you backward, they'll solidify your transformation. You'll respond differently, and in doing so you'll prove to yourself that the shift is real, that you've crossed the line, and there's no going back. The beauty of this new energy is that it doesn't demand constant effort, it invites alignment. It rewards you for listening to yourself, for acting when something feels right, and for resting when it doesn't. The more you trust this rhythm, the more natural it becomes. Soon you'll realize that the life you're living feels less like something you're building and more like something you're remembering, as if you finally stepped back onto the path you were always meant to walk. And when you pause, maybe late at night or early in the morning, you'll feel it. That quiet, steady hum beneath everything. That's the signal that you've made it through the gateway. The second week of August opened. The old life is behind you, the new one is here, and the rest of the story is waiting for you to write it. In the days that follow, you may notice that time itself feels different. Hours might seem to pass faster, yet you accomplish more, or moments might slow down, as if the universe is stretching them so you can take in the details you would have missed before. This isn't a trick of perception, it's what happens when your internal state no longer matches the old rhythm you used to live in. You'll begin to see how deeply the second week of August has rewired you, not just in big decisions, but in the tiniest reflexes. Maybe you reach for your phone, and instead of opening the same app you always scroll through, you pause. Maybe you start to say yes to something out of habit, and then stop yourself because the energy doesn't feel right. These micro moments are proof that your old operating system is gone. Interactions will carry more weight now. A conversation that once felt casual might suddenly spark a revelation. A chance meeting could open a chain of events that shifts your trajectory entirely. The conjunction's influence lingers in these subtle alignments. It's less about dramatic fireworks now, and more about precision. The right word at the right time from the right person can be the key that unlocks the next door. You might also find your dreams becoming even more symbolic. Animals, places, people you haven't seen in years, all weaving together into sequences that leave you waking with a feeling you can't quite name. Keep track of them. This is your subconscious integrating the shifts in your energetic field, translating them into language you can begin to understand. And then there's your environment. It will feel more sensitive to you than before. Certain rooms, certain streets, even certain colors will feel different, either more nourishing or more draining. This heightened awareness is a gift. It's the compass that will guide you in choosing where and with whom you spend your time. Ignore it, and you'll feel the friction immediately. Follow it, and you'll find yourself in spaces that support your new frequency. By now, the high energy that began earlier in the week will have woven itself into your daily rhythm. You'll catch yourself making choices you couldn't have imagined a month ago. You'll start recognizing opportunities sooner, moving toward them without the old hesitation, and perhaps most importantly, you'll realize you're not chasing a new life anymore, you're living it. The transition has already happened. Now you're simply learning its language. And as you move through these days, remember, this isn't about holding on to a temporary burst of motivation. It's about allowing the second week of August to become a permanent turning point, a place in your story where you stopped waiting and started becoming. Every action from here, every choice, every conversation, every pause is part of building the reality you just stepped into. One of the most powerful things about this week's alignment is that it doesn't end when the calendar flips. The Venus-Jupiter-Sirius conjunction leaves an echo, a resonance that keeps moving through your life long after the exact alignment has passed. You might think of it as a wave that's already broken on the shore, but the water is still rushing in, filling spaces it couldn't reach before. That means, in the days and even weeks ahead, moments from this period will resurface in surprising ways. A conversation you had might suddenly take on new meaning. A decision you made without much thought could lead to an outcome far bigger than you expected. Something you started this week, even if it was small, could turn into a defining part of your next chapter. This lingering current will also have a way of revealing what you missed the first time. If there was a sign, a message, or a gut feeling you brushed aside earlier in the week, it might circle back, this time, louder, clearer, harder to ignore. Pay attention to these returns. They are not second chances in the usual sense. They're checkpoints, making sure you've really heard what you were meant to hear. You may notice your sensitivity to timing increasing. You'll feel pulled to act at certain moments. And if you follow that pull, things seem to click into place with little resistance. On the flip side, if you push when the energy isn't ready, you'll feel an immediate heaviness or block. This is the new rhythm setting in, an unspoken partnership between you and the current that was activated this week. For some, the changes will show up externally: a new job offer, a relationship shifting, a move, a creative breakthrough. For others, it will be more internal, a deep calm, a stronger intuition, a sudden clarity about who you are and what you will no longer tolerate. Both are equally valid, because both are signs that the old structure has been dismantled, and don't be surprised if certain people seem to fade from your life without conflict or explanation. The conjunction has a way of quietly severing energetic ties that no longer serve you. It doesn't need drama, it simply removes what doesn't match your frequency anymore. At first you might notice the absence. Later you'll realize it's made more space for what's meant to arrive. The most important thing you can do now is to remain receptive. You don't have to hunt for the next step, it will present itself, but you do have to be awake enough to recognize it. The universe rarely shouts, it prefers to whisper. And after a week like this, the whispers are everywhere. There is no going back now. The version of you that walked into the second week of August no longer exists. What's behind you is not a place you can return to. It's a chapter that has already sealed itself shut. And if you try to step back into it, it will feel wrong, empty, out of tune with who you've become. That's because this week didn't just bring change, it restructured your foundation. From here forward, every choice will either anchor you deeper into this new life or pull you into a version of yourself that can no longer survive. Old patterns will try to tempt you, familiar faces may show up, pulling on the strings of comfort, but you'll feel it instantly. The heaviness, the dissonance, that is your signal to keep moving forward. The space you're in now is rare, it's fresh, unwritten, unshaped. This is when you decide what belongs and what doesn't. Protect it fiercely. Feed it with conversations, actions, and environments that match the person you are becoming, not the person you've already left behind. Because the truth is simple, the door behind you is closed, and the only direction left is through. Thanks for watching. When this week ends, come back to this video and watch it again. Share in the comments what you experienced and what came true.